Hey, it's your boy, Emerald Gamer. Once again, hello. Not an update video, please don't leave. I mean, you already seen the title, so, that's a bit. But anyway, welcome to an Emerald Gamerant. We were supposed to do, just inside baseball, we were supposed to do Project Time Capsule stuff today, but it's been a crazy couple of weeks, y'all. I'm not gonna lie, there's a lot that's happened, and there's things that need to be taken care of. I got personally a lot of stuff going on, both online, offline, and otherwise. And Emerald Gamerant is something that I kind of wanted to do in general in times like this, where either A, I had something to talk or literally rant about, and also in times where, maybe I don't have all the time in the world to edit, right? I am just one guy that edits and uploads all this, so all the other members help with their personalities and other various things. But when it comes to editing, right now it's currently just me, and I can't afford to purchase an editor, or really get a good way to get footage to anybody. I don't know. It's a whole long thing. But one thing I did want to kind of talk about, and it's something that you may have heard me say in past videos, pretty recent videos, and possibly and probably future videos too, of me saying the phrase, there is too many games coming out. Presently, in the climate of the gaming industry, when it comes to everything outside of the very blatant issues and fires that are going on right now and refusing to be put out, Sony, I'm looking at you for the whole physical media thing. Don't take away my game shelf. I'll have a problem with you. I already do have a problem with you right now, but just don't take away my fucking game shelf. There's going to be a real problem. That's a promise. But anyway, outside of all of that and things related to that as well, like layoffs and stuff, just right now, there's a shocking amount of releases going on this year, and at least from my perspective. But it's really come to my attention to, just generally in me, it's kind of the same amount of releases it is every year. And as a person who has had a more broadened horizon on the amount of games that they play, from a little after the time I started doing stuff over on YouTube in general, it really has just expanded more and more. And boy, oh boy, also with me expanding my video game collection, just in general, my physical collection, I do also intend to play all of the games that I do get or whatever, at least for a little bit, if they're not full blown story single player games or whatever. But nonetheless, that leads to the backlog. And I'm sure I'm not the only person that said oh, there's so many games coming out this year, and there's probably someone saying that every year for when they're just absolutely eating and winning. I mean, just thinking about it ahead, here in basically a little bit less than a month and a week from now, Marvel Tokon is coming out. That's going to be a very exciting thing for fighting gamers. And also, Bob in Tekken 8 is coming out. And that is a character I've been anticipating returning to Tekken in a game that I'm actively playing for years. Technically, you could say just 3 years, but really it's more like 4 or 5. If anything. I didn't really play Tekken 7 towards the end of its lifespan, and there was a little bit of a wait in between 7 and 8, so, there's that. At least 7's end of life. I don't know. Anyway, the point is, my backlog is giant, y'all, and between stuff coming out this year and recommendations from members, Twitch chatters, comments, family members, acquaintances, friends, people in the fighting game Discord, wherever, your mom, I don't know. All I know is that my backlog is huge and it keeps getting bigger, and lately I've been kind of having the thought of really, like, is my backlog any bigger or smaller than anyone else's out there? The answer is inevitably yes. Like, it's definitely going to be bigger than a lot of people who aren't like me and don't, treat this as like a passion or a hobby or whatever you want to call it. I don't know. Can you really say video games are a hobby? I don't know. It's just kind of like a pastime, I guess. It's a weird gray area, but it's definitely going to be smaller than some people who just literally want to play everything. Because I've met people that are like that. Hell, Colton Ruby Gamer is basically like that. The man will play just about anything that has any sort of... I mean, really, I don't think there's very many requirements for him to not play a game, if I'm being honest. If it's multiplayer, the man wants to play with his friends. If it's single player, the guy probably wants to play it, I wish I was more like that, just in general. I still have my resists, so it does keep my backlog at least somewhat, stopped, but not entirely. Not entirely at all. In fact, there's probably so many games in my backlog that I don't think I even know a finite number. Frankly, if I even took the time to list it and put it onto the screen as like a scrolling like Star Wars title crawl list or whatever in like alphabetical order or something like that, I think I would literally just die doing that. I think that would be the last video I ever make because I would die of old age or something. I don't know. Like, it's just like way more time than it's even funny, I guess. Actually, that would be kind of funny if like this whole video was just my backlog in a Star Wars title crawl and nothing else instead of whatever gameplay you're seeing right now. That would be very funny. But I'm not doing that. That's a lot. I don't have time for that this week. Not at all. But the point of, and you've seen the title of the video, right? Our backlogs, they're big. And that's okay, I guess. I don't know. As someone who has kind of gone through all stages of gaming in his life, in the sense of having a lot of time to having, a decent amount of time to, I don't know, basically like whenever I can. I've kind of hit all three stages at one point. Currently, right now, sadly, I'm in the whenever I can aspect of it, which I'd prefer not, but it is what it is, right? It is what it is, and I still find time, so it's not like I don't play anything at all. But there are some times where I go like a week or sometimes two without really playing anything. Like, not really. I don't know. I'll still play games at like fighting games at locals and stuff like that, but other than that, sometimes I just kind of sit and chill and or work on stuff. And that's really all I got. But it's not helping the backlog. And with all these games coming out, it's just piling on even more and more. And obviously with new games, I always typically try to give them a priority slot so I can play them and then move on to something else when there's kind of like a dry spell of nothing I really care about. But lately, man, this year's just been killing me. I don't even think I think all the new games, like half of the new games, are going to get backlogged. Which means potentially I may never play them. I really just might not. I really do want to try. I mean, a lot of this goes into this conversation, really, for me. I really do want to try and keep on with the Emerald Gamer's stream backlog that I've been doing in the background. I'm trying to stick to that and not really deviate from it, if I'm being honest. But yeah, I've come to the, I guess, realization after this last crazy couple of weeks and pretty insane loaded year of just game releases, either just happening from what we know of this year and what we know of what was coming out this year last year. It's just really stacked, man. But with that, kind of made me realize that I'm probably never going to finish my backlog. And I think it's technically a good thing. I think it's okay, guys. And the only reason why I say that is just because, well, I mean, if you really run out of stuff to play and you have to just explore what to play from there, that's cool and all. But you may not actually find anything you're interested in or want to try. At that point, you're just waiting for stuff to come out, and then you're just playing it then, or trying it out, which is fine. But I feel like that's such a weird way to play, or like just, I guess, involve yourself with a video game. I don't know what I'm really trying to say there with that. It's just, I feel like if I had no backlog and I wasn't a person that wanted to replay anything, like what would I play? Like I guess I would just do nothing. I would just choose to not play nothing until something came out, which is like deranged to me, because there's so much stuff always coming out. I don't know. I played Mecha Chameleon for a few hours the other day for the first time, which is like, you know, that's the new hotness, that's the new craziness or whatever. And I really liked it, honestly. I think it's just to give like a little review of it here, because I don't probably plan on doing any Mecha Chameleon content, really. Not really. Outside of like using it for B-roll footage, which is probably what you're looking at right now. That's really about it. I think it's a really simple, chill game that you can just kind of sit down with some friends, or just kill some time with, and just kind of goof around and not really have to do a whole lot. Obviously, if you're on the hunter side of things, it's kind of just a full interactive game that you're constantly like involving yourself with. But if you're hiding and you don't really feel like, you know, swapping around doing some prop hunt stuff, granted, I do think that if you don't really be creative with your like hiding spots, and you just try to pick stuff that's like, oh, I'm like literally unseeable by just any camera angle ever, because I've shrouded myself in complete darkness, and you're gonna have to just guess. Or I've hidden myself in an object, and the game's just not counting that as like you hiding in an object, which the game doesn't allow you to do that, by the way, just if you didn't know. Then I think that's playing pretty lame at the end of the day. I think there's like a fun to be had in doing it like that, but why are we sweating on Mecha Chameleon? There's no ranked, bro. There's no incentive to win other than just you feel like winning. I don't know. Anyway, cool game, right? Very cool game. But I wouldn't really say it was something I would be interested in putting in my backlog, right? That tangent aside. I played it immediately. It kind of is what it is. And I think a lot of people, like, here's my thing. If it was in my backlog, it's not a friend slop game, I guess. But, like, it's just a quick multiplayer game. There's not a whole lot to it. So in a sense, it's like putting solitaire in your backlog. Is it really in your backlog if you played one game of solitaire? Like, unless you had a goal in mind or something, sure. But, like, Mecha Chameleon, I played it. I've played it one time. I've played it a couple of times, I guess, at this point. I will probably come back to it and play it again. That game is not in my backlog. All of these games that are in our backlogs should never be like that. Unless you're, like, just a queuing, like, you're just queuing to try it before you buy it. But if that's the case, if you got 100 2-hour experiences that you can just remove from your backlog and say, okay, I've played it, and I'll come back to it if I ever want to, then sure, congratulations, your backlog is just, I guess, just really small, man. But for most people, I can probably confidently say their backlogs are pretty giant, man. Mine is very giant in terms of playtime. I don't even want to think about it. Yeah, when it comes to the backlog, I mean, I think you just have to kind of take it in stride. Get a system, find a system that works for you. Play, you know, at whatever pace you want. Have fun with it, but just don't let the backlog kind of get to you. And I think that's one thing it has been, is I think over the last like few months, I think it has gotten to me a little. I think it's just better, I guess, to focus on what you want to play and what is going on at the time. Like, I don't know. With certain things coming out, I want to try and prioritize those things, like I had said. But also, I think about other stuff. I think about, like, oh, I picked up this game. I picked up Bloody Roar 2, and I really want to play that more and, like, learn that system a little bit more, because I love Bloody Roar Primal Fury or whatever on GameCube, and I really like that game, and it's, you know, I want to dive deeper into that. But realistically, as far as depth goes, there's not a whole lot to Bloody Roar. It's just a tight-ass video game. So, outside of, like, trying to learn that system and dedicate time and balance for new stuff coming out, I kind of have to prioritize, right? How can I conquer my backlog whenever I can? And I think it kind of also goes back to the Mecha Chameleon thing. Just take stuff as it goes. You don't... I think to cross off a game off the backlog, you really only have to, like, sit and do a play session of it once if that's all it requires. I don't think finishing a game constitutes as the only way you can get it off of your backlog, I guess. And I think that's what I've really had the mentality of, if I'm being honest. Because if you play a game in your backlog and you don't really like it, then why would you continue to play it, right? So that's kind of where I'm at with that. And it's just like that with, like, friend swap games and stuff like that. Again, you play it for a couple of hours, you pretty much had the experience. Some people would say a couple hours is too short, but I mean, really, you do get a lot. If you're really, like, dedicatedly playing it, you do get a lot of action out of that. Now, again, if you got a goal for the said game, maybe keep it on the backlog and then just keep going on to something else and try and come back to it later. But yeah, I just I don't know. There's no rhyme or reason to it. I just wanted to talk about how, hey, it's pretty okay to have a bigger backlog. I don't think that's a problem at all. No, not at all. But there are too many games coming out this year, guys. There's too many games. Please stop. Developers, please go one at a time. Thank you. So yeah, in short, I don't think necessarily having a backlog is a bad thing at all. Some people treat it and dread it, and I used to be kind of a dread it kind of guy, I guess, when you think about it. But over the last, again, couple of months, I've kind of started to realize, hey, maybe it's just okay. Maybe we can have those backlogs and work on them. And hey, I mean, just because you have a backlog doesn't mean you're obligated to finish it, right? Some people, unfortunately, never do. And I think that's the story for a lot of people, really. There's just not enough time. But as long as you feel like you've played everything that you really truly want, I mean, then I guess it's fine. I don't really worry about playtime anymore or how long a game is. As long as I'm playing it, I'm good. I'll get around to it, I promise. To myself. But that being said, if you have any sort of game that you want us to play in the future, on this channel specifically, or on Twitch, I guess, later, the backlog for that is dwindling, actually. It's still pretty up there, but it's dwindling, and I have a few ideas and stuff like that, but I'm trying to stay committed to the backlog a little bit, and just kind of go from there, you know? Just take it little by little. But if you have any sort of games that you're trying to play right now, or maybe you even want us to play on YouTube, hell, after Project Time Capsule's done, at least that second wave of it, we're going to be pretty dedicated with what we're playing. But outside of that, and after that's done in the foreseeable future, we don't really have a game plan outside of more Project Time Capsule. So, and eventually that'll all kind of run dry. I mean, Red Dead 2's not too far in. I think Red Dead 2's about halfway done, realistically. Hate to break that to anybody who's been thinking it's close to an end. Yeah, I didn't know it myself either, but yeah, Red Dead 2 is a shockingly long game. Weirdly, I don't know why. I mean, I do know why, but it definitely was not something I was expecting. It is a shockingly long game. But outside of that, I mean, we don't have really many other episodes left in the Project Time Capsule stuff. Yeah, not really at all. The Mario Party Grand Prix is almost done. Ape Escape is over halfway done, I'm sure. And Final Fantasy VII Remake is only got like 7 episodes left, something like that. Which, wow, that's kind of ironic. 7. I wonder if that's I should fact check myself on that. I wonder if that's bullshit or not, or if I just actually said 7. 7's finished in 7. But yeah, don't necessarily worry too much about that backlog. It'll get there. I'm working on it too. Don't worry, but it's okay. The backlog is okay. Just can you agree with me that there's too many games coming out this year, please? I know that's like kind of talking about the weather. It's just like a gamer default thing to talk about, but I think it's genuinely true, man. I think it's genuinely true. Games cost money, bro. I gotta spend a bunch of money on games. I bought Bloody Roar 2. I should have been saving for Marvel Tokon. Just kidding. I'm definitely buying that day one or whatever. It's already pre-ordered in my mind. I haven't actually pre-ordered it, but it's definitely there in my mind. Anyway, that's really all I got. I don't know how long this video is actually going to be. I'm seeing it's like 32 minutes long or whatever. But I know that's probably not going to be actually the case. But I don't know. I kind of want these rants to be like kind of longer in length anyway. I mean, I go on tangents and shit, but that's like the nature of the segment, I guess, or the nature of the video type. Whatever you want. The game type calls for it, bro. Just play the out. Oh, anyway, I've been Emerald Gamer, and I really hope I like this Emerald Gamerant in the morning, because if I don't, boy oh boy, am I deleting it again, and we try and find a new one. If you too also have a tremendous backlog, be sure to subscribe and like the video. And also, again, comment down below if there's any games that you want us to play, or if any game that you're kind of like dreading to play on the backlog, even though it's something you want to play, you know, just because it's like a bigger commitment, or like a game you're maybe not like, or maybe it's a game you're not too excited for, but you like are gonna try with friends or something. That's a cool idea. Anyway, good night everybody, or day or afternoon, whenever you're watching this, I suppose. Have a good one, and I will see you guys in the next rant / video or whatever. See you guys next time.